Good afternoon. I am Noel O. Cortez. Some people know me as Noah. That's mostly related to music and the entertainment business. Um, and here in the litigation business field, I am known as Noel. Okay, very good. I've been in this field for a period of total of 26 years, something like that. And I've been on my own as far as, my own clients and establishing myself through word of mouth, not through internet, social media, psych, or hype. No, it's been through word of mouth. And thank God that I've been so fortunate to revolve around people that are reputable, attorneys that have been proven year after year and throughout the whole time to be reputable, to keep their word, to be gentlemen. So yes, I surely appreciate that, and again, no hype and psych here. So it is important that I stress this because this service of mine was built through word of mouth. Okay, back then when I started, social media wasn't what it is now. Okay, anybody can have any kind of business, and boom, as long as you pay the money, it's gonna hype and psych a lot of people, the masses. That's not what's been happening here. Okay, I have to do these because hey, if I'm not part of social media, then I'm pretty much out of the picture. So that's what it's come down to. But those who know and who've worked with me before and throughout the years, who assist and helped me build my service, I am certified completely. All right, very good. Let's move on. So this is I've done again a language interpretation, not for dummies 101, and not for dummies 102. This is 103. This is for the purpose of reviewing what I did in 101 and 102, and to make it more organized and brief, to the point, and try to cover, what do we have here? We have technique, mindset, professionalism, business and tactics, you know. And so we're going to cover this. And so let me start. I'm going to start with, and I welcome all of you. I surely do. And I miss surely some of you because your wit, it's not because I think you're, comedians or clowns, but because I love your wit, and I miss that laughter, I miss that honesty, that person to person, face to face thing. Okay, all right, very good. Mindset. Let me start with mindset. Okay, you go to a job, an assignment, as a language interpreter. You should be there at least 15 minutes before, so you can get familiar with the setting, and see where you're going to be located, where you're going to, if you're going to sit, where you're going to sit. All right. So so that's important for you to dress up accordingly, right? To represent, yourself as a professional, and again, and then of course hygiene, whether it's your breath or it's your body, clean, okay, scentless. That's the best thing, policy. um, and to go there with a non-biased attitude. I mean, you can't go there, no, you have to, my policy is to say, you know what, I wasn't there, I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, so I am completely unbiased. Okay, so whether uh, the defendant, firm hires you, or whether it's the petitioner or the plaintiff, doesn't matter. What matters is how you're going to perform your assignment. In this case, language interpreting. All right. Again, this is language interpreting 103. And this is a review of 102 and 101 that I previously posted. Okay, so rehearsal. And yeah, anyone that I send, if I cannot be present, has to be familiar with the particular field, whether it's, I don't know if it's divorce or it's immigration or it's whatever it may be, personal injury, workman's comp, whatever it may be, the person should be rehearsed in that field, okay? So we all learn as we go along. That's a fact. Whether you're an attorney or an interpreter, or a judge or an arbitrator, we all learn as we go along. We do not learn everything in school. That's a lie, and we do it out in the field. And so that's for mindset. Okay, pretty much cover that. Monitoring. The last thing here, monitoring. To assign a secretary, or just someone out of your office, an office manager, whatever it may be, to show up to a dep just because you're not into trusting services, whether interpreting services or because the person was hired by the other party, so therefore you want to make sure that everything gets translated, interpreted correctly. Well, the only person qualified for that is a person, if there's a secretary there or whoever it may be, is that person was a professional interpreter before. And the reason I say that is because the dialects are, you must not be limited to just your country, your neighborhood, your barrio, whatever it may be. It goes beyond that, okay? So we have South Americans, we have Central Americans, we have Mexicans, mostly in this field, right? As far as in the labor field or, either in personal injury. Mostly it's those, who get, of course, occasionally we get the Puerto Rican and the Cubans. So, yeah, they all have their different dialects, and that's what my point. You must be familiar with these dialects if you're going to feel like you're qualified, okay? In order to qualify to be a monitoring a professional interpreter, you must be qualified to do it. Otherwise, it's going to be not good, okay? So, all right, so we go into technique. I wrote an article years back. It's called From Speech Impediment to Unlimited Roles. And I wrote that for a reason, because I struggled before I had a speech impediment. None of you pretty much met me at that time. Once I entered the field, I had already developed partially my voice. I'm still developing because now I'm into singing. So the more I develop the voice for speech, it just goes hand in hand, and it helps me with the singing. Very good. So enunciation, pronunciation, projection is all important, because, you got court reporters that are, as soon as they hear, oh, there's an interpreter involved, they either don't take the case or they do, and they show up and they find out that there's an interpreter. So some of these court reporters, and hey, doesn't matter if you're good in your profession, but if you're going to have an attitude about an interpreter, whatever nationality, whether it could be Polish, Russian, Hispanic, whatever it may be, I've noticed, and I've been a victim of that, where I'm speaking to you clearly, just like I'm doing now, and they're still asking, "I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? I'm sorry, I didn't." Well, what the hell? That's like a systematic discrimination or racism, because you said the word clear, you spoke with you projected the word, you enunciate the word correctly, and they still ask, "Can you repeat it?" Not good. Okay, so that's as far as the court reporters. Memory and focus. Well, you have to focus in, zoom in what you're doing, And whether it's whoever's there, it has to be focused, and then of course the memory is going to be easy to memorize, to store phrases that are being said. Now, this is the other thing too. I covered dialects already. That's very important. Okay, not to be limited in dialects. So you have to, again, we all learn things as we go along, but you cannot sit there and judge somebody because he said the word the way it's said in another country other than your own country. That's out. That's gotten me in a and not in a good situation because somebody had to, you know, say something ignorant like that. All right, so control over the witness. A lot of times, it's like if somebody doesn't stop a witness from rambling on, whether it's their client or the opposing client or the judge or the arbitrator, we are taught, okay, to raise our hand and stop that person from rambling on. It's not because you're trying to avoid that person from saying something, that who knows whichever party would feed on. It's not that. It's that the interpreter looks bad after somebody just rambles on, and you're expected to interpret every single word. That's not how it works. That person will go from sentence to sentence, phrase to phrase, being consciously aware that there is somebody there interpreting for them, okay, which is something that they should be grateful for, because otherwise they can't present their case, right? So that's important, for the attorneys to stop this stuff. A lot of them, some of them like them to ramble on, so they say they'll say something that they can work with or something. Now, but that's not fair for the interpreter. The interpreter, it will be in trouble or may look ridiculous if this person rambles on, and then you're expected to interpret every, and a lot of times this rambling on has nothing to do with the question that was asked of them. It's just that they're not used to the setting. They at home they talk, they chat, and whatever, and it's not the time for them to do that. So someone has to take control. If it's not going to be an attorney, their attorney or the opposing attorney or the judge or the arbitrator to stop these people from rambling on, then the interpreter is really has every right to raise it and make them stop, so you can go ahead and interpret what was said, what was expressed, So that's very important. All right, so let's move on to professionalism. Again, we talked about hygiene. We talk about breath and body and the attire. Reliability. You have to be reliable. The subcontractors that I have, thank God, they've been, fortunately, haven't had a problem with them. I set them up. They're professional. They show up 15 minutes before the actual trial or hearing, whatever it may be, and they they conduct themselves professionally. Aside from looking professional, and must be punctual and responsible. Reliability, punctuality, responsible is all very, very good. Now, again, sometimes there's a that intervenes. Well, we'll leave that for the other section. So that's covering professionalism. I've covered mindset, and I've covered technique. Those are the three things I covered now within 14 minutes and 29 seconds. Business tactics. I also wrote an article called Walk Like a Man, Talk Like a Man. You can find all these two articles on LinkedIn, on my business page. And what I meant with that, it was just like, it's important for whatever clients you acquire that they keep their word, They must keep their word. And whoever in the office, they have to be on top of that person because sometimes, office managers or somebody that thinks that they're completely in control of everything there that goes on. It's not good because they can make their bosses look ridiculous, and no, because like again, I've been fortunate to have very reputable clients, attorneys that walk the walk. In other words, if they say, "Well, Noel, send me an invoice and we'll pay you within a couple of weeks," we'll send the invoice and we'll just send out a check, whatever the case may be. Whether it's 30 days or 15 days or right after the assignment. Sometimes they'll pull me into their office and they'll write me a check and that's it. You know, and so the only ones that really have that carte blanche as far as the 30 days or whatever, people that are again proven to be uh, trustworthy, reputable, and give you continuous business. Okay, otherwise it's like if a person gives you business once or twice a year, why should you wait 30 days to get paid? Unless they don't have any money. That's another issue that's got nothing to do with me. Um, yeah, walk the talk. Walk like a man, talk like a man, and that's what I meant by that article, because there's flighty ones, and they will not keep their word, and they try to cancel you at the last minute and not believe that they need to pay you to compensate you for it, which is also kind of ridiculous, very ridiculous. Um, Trusting clients, yeah, it that goes again. Trusting, once you establish clientele, and especially it was built through word of mouth. They know that you're good and they shouldn't mess with you in any kind of way. Okay, so um, okay, so then I think I've covered pretty much what I was going to cover. I said I was going to be brief, and I covered pretty much what was the contents of language interpreting not for dummies 101 and 102. This is 103 again. I'm Noel O. Cortez, and I have been serving my clients for a period of 16 years. Of course, 1 year was completely shot, right? Almost. And if it hadn't been for those that were trying to rush it, we wouldn't have had the second wave. Okay, we wouldn't have had the second wave. We wouldn't delayed it more, but now they're trying to rush it. The same people that delayed it, um, for being irresponsible or irrational. All right, so thank you so much. We do cover immigration, personal injury, workman's comp, um, property damage, sworn statements, anything like that. Please feel free to. I still have my website there, and you can go at info at all mainstream interpreting, or you can just um, email me directly, Noel Cortez at live.com, LIVE, and this is strictly for business. It's not for solicitors or any kind of garbage out there that hackers or whoever is out there destroying businesses or services. All right, so I thank you so much. Again, I missed a lot of you, and because wow, you're good people, and because of your wit, I appreciate anybody can make me laugh, and work in harmony with something with mutual respect, understanding, right? Because first you have to get the understanding, then you get the respect. Very good. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. I'm hoping that thing will start up in September again, and the courts will open, and we'll be a little more together as far as this pandemic thing. It's not good to say one day wear the mask, the other day not wear the mask, and trust people that never wanted to wear the mask in the first place to just say, "Oh no, I'm vaccinated." Well, no. And who are you to ask them for proof? That can start trouble. So thank you so much. God bless all of us, and we'll see you soon. right. Very good. Noel O. Cortez with all mainstream interpreting. Thank you.